He'll take the
Yeah,
doctor's
that's totally
points.
true. All right. That. Oh, you got me. Can you hold still for a second? Who's got the beeping smoke detector?
Oh, that's us.
Is that you? Okay.
Yeah, that's us.
The last time we met, it was bothering me because I thought it was one of mine.
No, it's ours, and I tried replacing the battery, but it's kind of busted right now. So sorry. It's kind of a pain.
All right. More or less. Let me come back here real quick.
Okay,
So,
slide.
okay, class, let's watch the slides. Is that what you just said? I need to plug in my second monitor so I can see what the actual assignment is. I didn't get a chance to review this as well.
Elise, I was
Yeah, the
telling
quiz-
Andrew that I did
I
all
think
the
I did
reading,
my last
and I got
one.
a graphing calculator, but it's been like 15 years since I've done this, so
No worries.
while.
I don't have my graphing calculator on me, but I remember the signing first time graphs, and I didn't do any reading, but I looked at some problems, and I feel like I reviewed it enough where I'll do okay on the quiz. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
The My Math Lab quizzes are pretty easy. If you hit the view an example, it'll walk you through an almost identical problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I was doing the homework.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just really not worried about this quiz because I'm actually in a calculus class right now. I'm kind of taking this to boost my GPA. So
It's interesting that they let you, because they wouldn't let me co-enroll.
Well, I mean, I've
They
taken.
told me that I could only do one or the other.
I already took. I took pre-cal in the winter. I didn't really need to take trig because I think it's like something to do with your SAT scores. But
yeah, I honestly took it because it was the only one that kept my financial aid because I had 11 credits. And there were no 1 credit classes that kept my financial aid. So I don't even need this class because I tested out of math at like 13. And then I never used it again. So now I'm paying for that.
It's true. It's always hard to go back after it's been a while, but
I was like, yeah, I can do math in my sleep. I'll be fine.
We actually need to go get your mom in a second. There's actually 2 sets of crap. Okay.
So I've printed it if that helps. We have like team discussion and then some problems we're supposed to work out. And then the group quiz.
Yeah, I just found the team discussion portion.
Quiz. You said you need to pick up your wife. Do you want Elise and I to work through the team discussion and then we can do the quiz when you get back?
Yeah, I'm fairly confident in the material. Sorry, I'm plugging my printer in.
I'm talking to my classmates.
I hear another little girl. You see your name? Say hello. My name is.
What's that name?
I don't know. I think she's going to tell you.
What's your name?
Braylon.
Lucy what? We're working on my full name right now.
Can you say hi, Lucy?
Yeah.
There you go. Lucy Ann Butts.
Andy Butts.
That's right. My name is Andy Butts.
Hello?
Good job. And good
Lion
job.
Butts.
And mommy's name is?
Her name is Elise.
It was on that.
This one, that's Elise.
Hi.
And that's Andy.
And that's Adriana. And her daughter's name is Britlin. Britlin.
Braylon.
Oh, Braylon. Sorry. I forgot to put on my current name page. All right. Yeah, I have to leave right now to pick up my wife.
Okay, Elise, are
But I
you
should
cool
only
with
be gone for like 10 minutes.
discussion stuff?
What?
Are you cool with just going through the team discussion stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to color. We have to go to mommy. We're going to leave the computer running, which I never do.
Which is that in the lesson 3 and 4 preparation? Is that what that is?
I think it's in the instruction for the group homework assignment.
Oh, okay. So that's a different thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to blow out the candle. We can go and blow out the other candle. I got it.
If you go, let's see. So,
Thank you. I think I found it.
it's the week 2, lesson 3 and 4 instructions for GHOA.
Okay.
Oops, where'd you go?
Okay.
I'm at it. So I did most of this, but the first one, it says discuss and make sure each team member understands the 5 different transformation and the 5 important points used for transforming the sine and cosine function graphs. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing, but when I was looking for the transformation, like in the reading, all I found was like translations, reflections, stretching, and shrinking. And if that's not it, then I don't know what the 5 signs are. Or the 5 transformations.
I didn't do the reading, but when I look at that part, the where is it? So the 5 different transformations. I don't know, because my first thought was it's the ABCD thing, but that's only 4.
Well, and that I only came up with 4 that way either. And so I was like, well, that can't be it because there's only 4. So then I like searched our textbook. It doesn't show anything else. So I don't know if the 5 is a mistake or not.
I don't know.
Okay. We can come back to that one then. And then like the next question, 4 additional trigonometric, I can't talk. The functions, that was just tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. Please stop. Thank you. Do you want to go watch your movie?
No.
Okay, then I need you to sit here quietly, please.
And then the relationship between them and sine and cosine, right?
Yeah. And so for that,
I have my phone.
using my graphing calculator, I cheated, and it was just like, it's so like, where are my notes? Hey, stop, please. Thank you. Is like cosecant is sine to the negative power, and then secant is cosine to the negative power, and cotangent is tangent to the negative power.
Right. So, The best way that I can think of to connect these is, and it helps me to write this down while I know you can't see what I'm writing, but it helps
That's
me
okay.
to get what I'm thinking out. But so sine, cosecant is 1 over sine for whatever the x is. Just
Cosecant.
Or, yeah, cosecant. I wrote down cosine. Yeah. So cosecant is 1 over sine. Secant.
Secant is 1 over cosine.
Yeah.
I've got those two.
And then
Tangent is sine over cosine.
yeah. And if tangent is sine over cosine, then the opposite of that is cotangent, which is cosine over sine. So I think that's what that was asking for.
Okay, that's what I got then.
Okay, cool.
And then, so this one, I did most of the work for number 3, review the answers to question number 6 from the prep. So prior to this, I think there was like a preparation for like our group hangout. That one just has like a bunch of questions we're supposed to answer. And I think that's what they wanted us to review. But 6 is like sine of minus 4 pi over 3. And then there's like a whole bunch of them. I use my calculator and I have 2 questions, 3 questions. One is, so I changed it to radian, but it still gives a decimal. Is that right? Like it's supposed to be a decimal, or is it supposed to be in like pi form?
Yeah, it's going to give you a decimal.
A decimal, and that's still right?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Then the only ones, I guess I only have 2 questions then, is on that list of like problems, there's cosecant of 2 pi, secant of 4 pi over 3, and secant of 5 pi over 6. And it says, like, when you put it in, it says error domain. So how would we solve those? Those would be the 3 that I don't know how to do.
Which one is that? So I'm looking at number 6 now. I just got to it.
So the first one's going to be the 5th one down, which is cosecant of 2 pi.
Okay.
And so, like, I put in sine to the negative power of 2 pi, and it says error domain, quit.
Okay, so
Braylon, just sit somewhere else. The cat is not going to move. Sit somewhere else. 8 spots in the house to sit, and she wants to sit where the cat's sitting.
can you really blame her? I mean, cats are funny.
I mean,
Just kidding.
our cat is kind of a little psychotic.
Ours too. He's crazy.
She really is pretty bad.
He's kind of like a dog.
Oh yeah, dude.
Kind of gets like super energetic. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, she chases her tail. She climbs in the shower with me in the morning. Like, you are a cat,
in
man.
the shower? That's bizarre.
Like, she won't come completely in, but she moves the shower curtain enough that the front half of her is in the shower, so she gets kind of like the splash off seam, not like directly under the water.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny.
And then after the shower, she just lays on the shower floor like, I don't know. She's
Cats are funny.
Yeah.
So when I put in for which one was it? Cosecant of 2 pi. I put in 1 over sine of 2 pi, which is going to be the same as cosecant 2 pi. And I got 9 point and then a bunch of numbers after the decimal, but yeah, that's what I got.
So, you know. I'm going to put this in here and see if this, like, nope. So if I was putting this in my calculator.
Oh, I had it in degree mode, sorry. Yeah. So, okay. So I got that too. I got divide by 0. That's what was wrong with it. So,
Okay.
2 pi is the same as 0 degrees, basically. It's 360
Right.
degrees.
Okay.
And if you have, I don't know if you have your unit circle out, but
I do.
I'm looking at mine right now, and the sign is 0. And so the answer is 0 over 0.
So then it's still 0.
I don't think,
Maybe?
think 0, I think anything divided by 0, even when it's 0, is undefined.
Is it undefined?
Because you can't divide 0.
Okay, so then the cosecant of 2 pi is undefined. Like, that would be our answer.
I guess so. I don't know what else it would be.
Okay. I'm good with that.
What was the other one?
Is 4 pi over 3.
And that's the secant.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so 4 pi over 3 is 240. And so we find the cosine first, which is negative 1/2. And we put 1 over negative 1/2. Which...
Okay. Sorry. So the 240, use the 240 degrees for the 4 pi over 3.
Yeah.
And you did the cosine of 240. Is that what you did?
Yeah, so you find cosine of 240, and then you put that under 1. So just 1 over, and it's negative 1/2. Sorry, which gives us negative 2. That's what I got.
Oh, because cosine is x value. That's where...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm following now. Okay. Then the only other one was secant of 5 pi over 6, which is going to be 150. So that's 1 over negative square root of 3 over 2.
Yeah. Which is just negative 2 over square root of 3.
Root of 3. Okay. I'm just going to make a note for myself to use unit circle. Use unit circle. I figured it was probably something easy, but yeah.
Now, when I took pre-cal, I had to just commit this to memory. And I mean, once you know just the 0, 90, 180, 270, there are half angle and like, I think it's double angle identities, where if you know the sine or cosine of 180, you can easily find the sine or cosine of half of 180 or something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while. So.
Okay. I get the idea though.
But yeah. But for now, it's nice to just use the unit circle.
My little cheat sheet.
Thank you.
Okay, so then the next one was extension problems that I guess we're supposed to work on together. Graph the following functions. Be sure to identify all 5 transformations. Plot at least one period. This will be done with the 5 important points, and identify the domain and range. So on one of these notes somewhere, I wrote, nope, that's my electricity bill. Okay. The 5 important points. Oh, on the back of my unit circle. Okay. So it said the 5 important points, like when you're reading, was x is 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. Cosine of x, 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 1. I'll show you my little table here.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember. Okay.
So I think, if I understood it, that's what it was saying, like the 5 important points were. And there's like a video you could watch that showed you how to graph it. And I watched it 3 times. And I got that, but then when implementing, like this one has like the 2 examples. When implementing that, couldn't graph on my own. So
I think I understand. So this is the one with A, B, C, D. A is the amplitude. And it's set up as in A sine, and then in parenthesis B, parenthesis X minus C, close parentheses, minus D. And the A is the amplitude. The B is the period. The C is the horizontal phase shift of the whole graph. And then the D is the vertical shift of the graph. And so like this first example, the 1/2 sine 2x minus pi minus 1, you see that one?
mm-hmm.
So the sine, let's see. If the amplitude is 1/2, then that's going to be, the amplitude is how high the graph will go. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. So like it won't go above 1/2,
right.
and it won't go below negative 1/2.
Yeah, essentially. And then the period is, so let me see if I can kind of draw this. Okay, I'm super sloppy, but
That's okay.
I'm not sure if you can see that.
Okay.
The sine graph is like so. It's basically like a giant W. The period is when the y value, where how far a y value, I'm having a hard time describing it. Like so this is the period. So the bottom right here. And
So from the lowest peak to the next lowest peak.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to put that into words, but I know what it is.
Or whatever.
So, and then the horizontal shift, which is C. So that means there would be, and the 1/2 sine 2x minus pi would turn into 1/2 sine, and then you have to take the 2 out of the 2x minus pi. And so that turns it into 2 times x minus pi over 2 minus 1. And so the period
Pause. Like so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
That's right. So the period, let's see, becomes 2. And so say, I haven't graphed this yet, but say that the bottom of the first peak across the y-axis, you know what I'm talking about? Let's say that falls on x equals 2 or negative 2. Then the next lowest peak will fall on 0 because it'll move 2. You know what I'm saying?
So the period is how far in between the next point.
Right. So this one, there's 2 in between. And then the horizontal shift is C, which is negative pi over 2. The horizontal shift and the vertical shift are very self-explanatory. You just move it over on the x or y-axis. Y for vertical, and then x for horizontal.
Okay.
So that's how you graph it. but I haven't done this yet, so I don't. I guess. Let me write it out. And this is a sine. So let's see. I'm struggling. This is hard to do without a graphing calculator.
If I was going to cheat and put it in my graphing calculator.
That totally got me through pre-cal because there weren't any restrictions on it. So now I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's not built of that, but it goes down one. So can you turn that down? Thank you.
So then if I was like actually graphing this on a graph.
Right.
Then, okay, give me a second to walk through this.
I think I've got it. Took a minute, but okay. So let me tell you what I got, and maybe we can. You still have your graphing calculator with you? Maybe
Yeah.
check it with that. But I got. So I can show you, but you might not be able to tell because it's kind of messy. Let's see. Okay. So I got the. Can you see it? Okay.
0 and minus a half. Wouldn't, I guess, because the like minus a half isn't the lowest peak and then the highest peak going to be positive 1/2? Or no?
Yes. So the 1/2 is the amplitude. That's only we moved it down by 1.
Oh, because the minus 1. So then really it's going to be minus 1.5 to minus a half. Or right. Negative, I guess. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And then we shift it over by pi over 2. So.
Okay, so if I'm going to put this in my calculator, how do I do that?
So, like, how do you graph it?
Well, yeah. Like, if I was to, do you put the equation in and then it'll graph it?
Yeah.
Or
Just put it in like it comes
Okay.
up on our screen, I guess.
Okay. Well, like after we wrote it, where it's half of sine 2 parenthesis x minus. Or
Either
just
way, it won't matter because it's the same problem. Essentially, it's just simplified a little more. So either way, you should get the same graph. But I can graph it on here.
Okay, I did something wrong. It's telling me error.
Can you lock him in that room? I know he's being loud. So I graphed it on just on my phone. Are you still getting the error?
Yeah, which means I'm putting something in wrong.
Well, I am getting not what I expected. So, yeah.
I'll just put it in a sink, please.
Let's explain this.
Yeah, so when I put it into my phone, which I'm sure it's the same result as on a graphing calculator, I got a peak wasn't on the y-axis. So that was off. But other than that, it was right. It still hits pi over 2.
I can open it. Can you help me?
I'm not sure where it's going.
Thank you.
How far did you two make it?
We're at the extension problems for the instructions for the GHOA.
So graph the following functions, those two?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you graphed either one of them?
I'm trying to graph it on my calculator, but I'm putting it in wrong, so I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, we sort of graphed the first one. I don't know how to find the domain and range, though. I didn't follow that one.
The range, remember this correctly. The range is y. It's the y values. So it's the minimum point and the maximum point. Hold on.
Oh,
okay.
So that's going to be the
homework number 3 is this stuff. Good night, you two. I love you.
Come on.
Come on. Oh, that's a really big pal. It's okay. I'll be in a little bit.
So range was y, no, range was x.
Yeah, the range is y value. So it's the minimum.
Okay.
So like number 1, where it says 1/2 sine 2x minus pi minus 1.
Yeah.
Let me
So it's
find.
like -1/2 to -3/2.
It says -1/2.
I was gonna say,
Is it the
Andrew, I
y
don't
value?
think you're on the same
It's the group homework assignment for number 2, right?
We were on the lesson 3 and 4 instructions for GHOA, sets
Uh-huh.
extension problems, and we were on the f of x equals 1/2 sine minus 2x minus pi, or parentheses 2x minus pi.
This one, right?
That one.
So 1/2 sine.
Yeah, but not yeah, that.
The other one?
No, the half of sine, that one.
Sine? Okay.
Another one.
If you're gonna eat the candy, you have to go eat it somewhere else. You can go eat it on the couch, okay?
Make sure I'm all set up. 2x.
I was thinking that it'd be -3/2 and 1/2.
And 1/2
Minus
or negative
1/2 pi.
1/2?
Minus a half.
Oh yeah.
I did like
So
you.
like that.
Hold on, I gotta get her another movie.
And then the domain is just infinity, right? Because it just keeps going.
Are you talking to us, Elise?
Sort of. I'm sort of talking to myself. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. It'd be really nice if I had graph paper. I spent the afternoon doing
So
this
is
one.
amplitude always going to be your range or domain?
Yes. So in this case, we know that the -1 means we will start it on our graph. E variable. Gives it translation. Minus pi minus 1, we know that we'll start at -1, normally at 0, 0. And then 1/2 is the amplitude. So that instead of going up to 1 and then back to 0, halfway, it'll go up to -1/2 to 1.5, -1.5.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
And I ends up being, I can't remember if it's just give x parentheses or if it's not.
If it's set up like 2x minus pi is, then you have to take the 2 out of both the x and the pi. And so it turns into 2 times x minus pi over 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Our equation to the right by pi over 2.
Right.
Pi over 2. Pi 3 pi 2. So our starting point would actually be pi over 2. Or 5 pi over 2. And then -1. And then we take that 2 for our period equation, 2 pi over b over 2, which means our period is just pi. You guys saw that in the reading, right? Period. That sounded weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but not.
That sounded weird.
I totally forgot about that.
Period is 2 pi over b, whatever number happens to be in the parentheses before x. The 2, that's our b. Divided by b.
And period is 2 pi over b.
2. In this case, it's 2 pi. So our period is pi, which means all of our sine wave is contained within pi.
Sorry, I don't know if it's my internet that's lagging or not. So everything's like broken up. You can only hear every other word.
Technology. But, okay. That's a straight line. Oh, this. 1, -1, -3/2. This is bad. -2. Your peanuts.
Oh, that would be my kid.
All right, so 9, 2. Since we know that we take x out, brackets minus. All right, so our starting point with a right translation of pi over 2. And big. So that's pi. This graph is not the scale. Drawing offends you. Now, so if we do this in fourths, that should work. So let's just say that's pi. So on and so forth. So our starting point is -1 with the right translation of pi over 2. It actually starts right there. Is that what you two have? Yeah,
I
no?
didn't graph it because I was.
Yeah. I think that's what I got.
Okay. And then we know that our P, so period equals 2 pi. You use this equation a whole bunch throughout the homework. So this is worth knowing. It's 2 pi over b. That's b.
Okay.
So 1/2 is a. This is what they give us in the book. I don't think the class reading. I don't think the My Math Lab was the same. But they label them. So the amplitude was A. B was the period. C is, they call it phase shift or left and right translation. And then D is vertical. for it. 2 is 1/2. Which means that instead of going up 1 to 0, our graph only goes up 1/2.
Sorry.
Okay. And then there's a 3. That's a really bad 3. I'm going to erase that. It's a horrible 3. Okay, so Adriana, the dotted lines are as far up and as far down as our graph goes.
Okay. And that's the range or domain?
Yeah, that's your range. No, that's your range. Your domain actually winds up being all real numbers.
Negative infinity to infinity. Okay.
And they never ask for domain since it's always all real numbers until we get into tangent and cotangent and all that. So we know that, and then we're given our period, which is a pi length. So it's not up 2 pi, it's actually a pi's distance. In this case, since 3 pi over 2 minus 1/2 winds up being 1 pi. So at that point, you can graph it out. Every sine graph points. I'm not even going to attempt an even curve here. But it'll look like that. So then, like throughout the homework and on the quizzes, what they'll do is they'll ask for each point. They'll say, what's the exact point? In fact, I think it asks us to do that. Yeah, so it says draw out the 5 important points. Let me draw this on my paper real fast. Did I do that wrong? I did that wrong. Hold on. I am completely and totally wrong. Please ignore me. Looks like that. So sine goes up, sine goes down. There's your sine wave.
Cool. So the 5 points are just
they're the generic points that they'll ask us for.
right.
So, because this constitutes an entire, I give it a name. It's a period or it's a, what do they call it?
Is it an oscillation or is that right?
Yeah, oscillation in physics. It is called a period. I guess it's just called a period. Okay. Yeah, so it's a period, and then it just kind of keeps going forever. So that's the first one. Do you have all of that written down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I already wrote most
I
of
don't know how to make my eraser bigger.
2 questions.
Sure.
It's your time, 10:22 your time. Do you guys want to just go ahead and go to the quiz so that we can get that done?
I feel comfortable with that if you guys do. If not, we can keep working on this.
I'm comfortable with doing that.
Okay.
And then, Elise, this question's for you. Did you upload anything Tuesday night for like the group homework?
No, I didn't. When I clicked on the submission, I think it was on the submission page. I think it said only the group leader has to.
Okay, so like I didn't upload it because it said only the group leader, and then it said that mine was like overdue. So
Yeah, it's iLearn 3.0. It's just kind of dumb.
just done.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would just click the box. There should be like a box that you click, or you just click on the link that has the submission page on it and just say you did it. I mean, it's really all up to the teacher, so.
Okay.
Oh, I guess you can't click anything to say that you submitted it, but it or anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say my other classes you just click on it and it like marks it as completed, but this one you like have to go through them all, and then the submission ones you have to upload something.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I mean, if that's what the teacher said, I would just go with that instead of iLearn, because
Okay.
iLearn is dumb. So.
Okay, quiz.
Okay, quiz. I didn't do it.
So for the quiz, how does this work? I've never done a group quiz before.
Me neither.
Hopefully we all get it right.
Like, do we all do problems together?
Oh, I hate that. All right, we're gonna cheat here.
Yeah, it says answer the following questions as a group, and the group leader will submit one copy for the group. Make sure to submit the group quiz as a single PDF document. You may only use your textbook notes and calculator on these problems. You may not use any outside sources. Remember that the purpose of the quiz is to see if you understand what you have learned on your homework, and also to tell you what you still need to study for the upcoming exam. Make sure to show your work in a neat and organized manner. A correct answer without supporting work will not receive full credit.
Okay.
Oh, crap.
He certainly doesn't make it sound like it's like a major grade or anything. I don't know what percentage of our grade it is, but
I don't know. But he's serious about that one page because I did the written quiz, and to show all my work, it ended up being on 2 pages, so I uploaded it as 2 pages and lost points.
no. I have no idea how I did on that. Probably should check that. Are you guys all on the quiz now?
Yeah. I was trying to pull this up in Paint so that we could write on it while we were talking about it, but it doesn't seem to be working. It's saved as a HTML file. All right, so number 1 is list of transformations made to cosine. And write the equation of the form, and you can all read that, whose graph is given, and state the range. We're given that wonderful graph underneath.
I guess we could start with the range.
Yep. The nice thing is because we know it's a cosine normally starts somewhere up on the y-axis. Start the graph to the right. This point is on 5. We know it's been pushed up.
Right.
So we can certainly start there.
Okay.
So the question is, how far up has it been pushed? It normally starts on 0 or 0, 1.
When it says list the transformations, is it asking for us to like say what happened to the graph, like it was stretched or whatever? Or is it asking for numbers?
It's asking for numbers. Wait a minute. Well, what was the other thing you were thinking?
Well, like when I looked up the book and it said transformations, it said like it was stretched. Now I gotta find the note. It was translated, it was reflected, it stretched, or it shrank.
I mean, that's essentially the same as the amplitude period and the shifts.
Yeah. We can write a description.
So it's asking for numbers.
Just writing the
No, that's fine.
equation is good
That's fine. I was just wondering if that's what they were asking for, is for us to like put a name to it or just have the numbers.
I feel like in this question, they probably just want us to have the numbers, just specifically because of how they put in the question, write an equation of the form, and then they go on to do the A, B, C, D stuff.
Okay.
So I feel like that's probably what they're asking for.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think? A, B, C, D.
Well, D is 4. We know the highest point is at 5, and it normally starts at 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. First looked at this, I wrote the equation with blanks underneath where all the variables go. And then I just worked through it and found them all.
Okay. That makes sense.
So you said it always starts at 1?
Yeah. So the unit circle version of cosine, 0, 1. They give it to you in the read, and they give you like the pictures of all the different graphs. Because they say this is what a normal graph looks like. Now this is what you're going to work with. And then they give you all the really combobulated graphs.
So is the reading different than the textbook reading?
He gives us 2 different pages. He gives us 2 different sources. Because he gives us the preparation stuff under like the due date. So where it says due date 2, if you go to lesson 3 and 4 preparation, it'll have a couple of readings. And then you go to my math lab for the rest of it.
Okay. This is set up different from the other 4 classes that I'm taking. Not even close. So
Yeah,
I guess
this
trying
class
to is just really different.
Yeah, I think he did that because sometimes when someone writes something different, you'll, as opposed to if you were just reading one thing over and over, making sense.
So the period, I'm looking at it and it looks like 2 pi, right? Or no, not 2 pi. Wait, no. Is that right? Or am I looking at it wrong? I feel like I'm looking at it wrong now.
Oh, the period I wrote down is wrong. I cheated a little bit. I just kind of looked at it and came. We know that they're going to always ask for, oh my gosh. Oh, my whole equation is wrong. Now. I have to print out another copy. I wrote all over this one. I am wrong. Okay. Let's do this. Got it. Together. Yay. Oops. Okay, so this is an upside down cosine. Oh. I didn't realize they'd already given us the 5 points. So when I did it, I figured it was still right side up. And I created an equation for it, and it's wrong. So it is blank cosine blank minus blank plus blank. Okay. So the starting point is -1. And where it normally starts on 0, we know it's been flipped on the, or sorry, it normally starts on 0, 1. So we know it's been flipped on the x-axis, which usually means the amplitude is negative.
Right.
Then we have a range of 5 to -1. 5 minus -1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we have -3 cosine.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you like walk through that one more time?
No, I'm offended. Can't do it. All right, so cosine normally starts, I almost want to, here, let me see if I can just Google like a standard cosine. Units, cosine.
Can we not use the internet while we're doing this quiz?
Oh, you're
Oh
right.
yeah, it needs to use the book.
Just want to make
You're
sure.
right. I don't know that I
This is
can pull the book.
recorded, so.
Well, you know, when I go to my job and I say, hey, I don't know how to do it, my boss isn't going to say, oh, tough luck. He's going to say, get on Google and figure it out.
I know.
That's what my boss does. So we Google lots of things.
So cosine normally starts on 0, 1, and then it dips down and goes back up. It looks like a little half pipe.
Oh, so you're
That's
saying
your
since it starts down here at -1, 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it goes up like
gotcha.
a hill. It's upside down.
I gotcha.
So we know that cosine is negative. Negative in front of the a. So the amplitude is negative. Need to look at the amplitude. Well, the top is 5. The bottom is -1. Write that if it's -1 minus 5 or 5 minus -1, you get 6. And they give us an equation where you take the highest and lowest, and then you divide it by 2. So 5 minus -1 is 6. Divided by 2 is 3. So 3, our midpoint, which makes me wonder why these points are on 2. Unless they're just not accurate. I'm losing my self-confidence here.
So the amplitude is just
This one's not very accurate.
it's just like the peak. right?
Peak and trough of the wave.
So
The
wouldn't
amplitude
this
is
be
how
negative
tall is-
1? Or no, it wouldn't be negative 1. It would be.
I
It would
really wish I could.
because of the middle of the wave is at 2, and the bottom peak is at negative 1.
Right.
So it would be negative 3 if we flipped it. It would be negative, right?
Yes, it would be -3. That's another way of doing it.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's 10:38 and this is due at 11, right? I'm getting a little nervous.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I can email him and let him know what happened.
I see. And so then the period is just, I mean, just looking at the graph alone, because that's really all we're given. The period goes from 7 pi over 2 all the way down to negative pi over
Like
2,
-1.
right? So that would be 8 pi over 2, which is 4 pi.
That is 4 pi, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely right.
And then the C is just the horizontal shift.
Since it goes to the left, it'll be positive, and it'll be positive pi over 2. And then I don't believe that there is a vertical, well, there is a vertical translation.
It would just be 1, right? Or no?
Yeah, it would be 1.
Okay.
It's positive 1 because cosine is negative. As are in the homework. So I just distinctly remember that. So the equation winds up being -3 cosine, 4 pi times x plus pi over 2. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Excellent. Okay, moving on.
And then the range is -1 to 5, right? With the brackets.
Yes, -1 to 5. In brackets, because it includes those numbers. Okay. And then find sine of A, given that cosine of A equals 2 over 5, and sine of A is less than 0. See. So we know A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared. So sine squared of A plus cosine squared of A, oops, sorry, 2/5 squared equals 1. Because we're going to pretend this is on a unit circle.
Okay. Makes sense.
So then you have sine squared of A 4 over 25, if you square out that fraction, equals 1. And then if you, what do you call it in algebra? You like resolve the equation or you solve it through, whatever it's called. 1 minus 4/25 winds up being 25 minus 4 is 21 over 25 equals sine squared A. So then you take the square root of the fraction. You have sine of A equals plus or minus square root of 21 over 5. Told us that sine of A is less than 0, which means it can only be the negative. So sine of A, square root 21 over 5. Right?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And then the last question is use the fundamental trigonometric identity to write two functions in the for cosine in terms of sine. So on the equation, you want to see sine of whatever on one side and then whatever that equals on the other. I honestly don't know what they're asking because there's only one way to do it, which is exactly what we just did. So sine squared of A over, or plus cosine squared of A equals, it can either equal 1 or it can equal tangent squared.
Right. So I'm not sure if I understand this question either, but we want it in terms of sine A. I'm trying to think of trigonometric identity. I can't. I don't have time, but so I don't know this one.
Cheat a little bit, you guys. I'm going to open the Dropbox. Open the Dropbox before the submission deadline. And then go past the time. Sometimes.
That has never worked for me.
It's worked a couple times for me. I've learned a few tricks doing online school.
Okay, so do you guys remember what the fundamental trigonometric identity is?
Yeah, I'd say squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Okay.
Indicate which formula to recommend.
Go to the board. Oh, there's a type. All right. Oh, it's not sharing. Okay. A squared plus b squared. That's blowable. C squared. A squared also means sine squared sine of whatever, because you have to put like a little angle sign in there. So this can either equal 1 or squared plus, cut even more and just say c squared equals tangent squared. So those are the two values that you can start with, because all they give us is sine and cosine. This one and the problem of 4.
Right.
So sine winds up equaling n squared s.
Try to.
And they're asking.
I thought these were in terms of sine.
Yeah, so this is sine. In terms of sine means you want to see
cosine
sine on one
equals, isn't that right? It would be cosine equals 1 minus sine squared. Or cosine squared equals 1 minus sine squared, if it's in terms of sine. Right?
side.
Sorry. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to make sure we're doing this right. If it's in terms of sine, like when you say in terms of whatever, you want the answer to have that in it. So wouldn't it be cosine squared equals sine squared?
Sine is the answer. This is the one that we want to know. What does sine equal?
No, if it's in terms of sine. If it's in terms of sine, you want the whatever it is to equal sine.
Well, this does equal sine.
No, sine squared equals. You want it to be something equals sine squared.
You're talking about, because they're actually just the same equation. It's like this. 1 minus sine. Okay. You're talking about that one.
Yeah.
We could just write both on the paper and say, hey, we don't know what the question really meant.
Okay.
We know the answers.
That works too.
Okay. Well, since that's the answer, all you have to do is swap sine and cosine. That's really how you get it. And then I don't know if they were asking for, maybe they were asking for us to put cosine on one and sine on the other. I wasn't sure. If it's like find two ways of saying the same thing, another way is to say sine equal, oh, that was bad. All right, tan squared minus cosine squared. So that's the other way of saying it. Honestly, I don't know what else they would ask. That's kind of it.
I vote we put them all down.
You can. I am all for that. Partial credit is better than none.
It says, too, to indicate which formula to use for a given value of A. So do we need to, like, choose one over the others?
To use for a given
I don't know.
What?
That's what it says. Indicate. Just a minute. I'm almost
No
done.
idea what they're asking.
Okay. I vote we write them all down and call it good.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to write them all down. What I will do is take a photocopy of mine and send it in. My handwriting is a lot better than my Windows Paint skills. So there's one, there's two, and then there's third. Find, indicate which formula to use for a given value. I don't know. Any other ideas?
I'm not sure.
I barely understand the few concepts that I got.
I feel like either one would work. Using sine squared and then sine squared over tan squared, or cosine squared, or whatever you guys wanted to do with it. I feel like both of them would work, but I don't know.
Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and scan the sheet and submit it right now. Scan.
So you're submitting the quiz right now, so we're...
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and submit it.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure before I do anything else outside of the quiz, because I would feel bad if I felt like I was even remotely cheating. So...
Yeah, so Brother Jordan's, when you watch this video, I am scanning it. I'm done. We're not touching anything else.
It also wants us to upload the link before 10 o'clock, so.
Okay.
Before 11 o'clock our time, though?
Or, yeah, sorry. I'm an hour behind you guys.
You scared me a little bit.
It's like 10 o'clock.
I still have 8 minutes, so I can make that work. Oh, which one is that?
Real quick before we end it, next week I'm actually like on vacation, so my hours are way more flexible if you guys wanted to meet like Monday and Wednesday night, because I still have classes on Tuesday and Thursday. So just options.
Okay. So
Wednesday night?
Monday and Wednesday because we have to meet twice a week.
Right.
yeah,
What
We
time?
can pick times later, but I'm like way more open both those days than normal, so I can be the flexible one.
me too. I only have a class on Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 4. So other than that, I'm totally free.
We work 11-hour shifts 4 days a week, and then of course my 2 days off are Saturdays and Tuesdays, but I have classes on Tuesday, Thursday night, so yeah. But this next week I'm on vacation, so I can make Monday, Wednesday work.
Where do you work?
In clinic.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it.
Cool.
But I get 3 days off a week, so it's really nice, but they're long days, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds tiring.
All right. Definitely not taking on 14 credits. We're going to go with like 12.
Yeah. Good idea. Cool.
All right, guys. Touch base later.
All right.
See you later.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.